Integrity man, I am a man. I am a man. I am a man. I am a man. Yes, strong man. Integrity man, I am a man. I am a man. I am a man. I am a man. Yes, strong man. Integrity man, I am a man.
I am a man, Courtney. I am a man. Greetings and
Yeah,
salutations.
man. We're definitely
Yeah.
there. Welcome to the mailbox. Here every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. right here on Love 101, the family station. Welcome to another week inside the program designed for men with Guess Who Are Men, hosted by men. I am Courtney Morrison.
And I am Kevin Bailey. Welcome again to the mailbox. Courtney, it has been a great time. Can you imagine August 4th, 2021 in the best country in the world, Jamaica, land we love. Have you been watching the Olympics, Courtney? What's happening? Is that your flag there? So what are your thoughts, Courtney? What are your thoughts?
First,
Yeah.
I want to commend the team in Japan for sticking to it and ensuring that the Olympics happened. Commend our men for what they're
Yes.
doing. We see Hansa Parchment and Sir Levy going through to the finals of the 110. Rashid Doyle coming off injuries but still making it to the final 8. Johan Blake doing his best in spite of torn hamstring. Look here, but what about Miss Elaine Thompson, Mrs. Elaine Thompson, hero, who has done so excellently, defended her 100 and 200-meter titles, not done ever before by any woman, and she has created history. Not to mention Megan Simmons Tapper, where she's Megan Tapper in the hurdles. Let me tell you something. She came third, but as far as we're concerned, I win she win. Her personality is above board. Say hi to Lady Marva Garden, who is her mom. All of us used to go to, well, Kingsgate United, Disciples of Christ, Greendale United. That's where everybody is from. So it has been an exciting time. The 400 women are promising to do well. Kevin, you know what? Look here. Hold on there. Jamaica land we love. A red flag
And I,
disagreed. What?
Well, I just want again to add my big up to Team Jamaica and those who work very hard. I mean, Tajay, um, and others who really worked very hard, and even though they have medaled, but they gave it their very, very best. See some resilience and perseverance in the midst of adversity, and I really felt lots of powerful lessons to learn from our men and women who are there in Japan. So big up to everyone, and we look forward to some more medals as well. I have to give a shout out to Sister Enid Lynn, senior citizen that listened to the mailbox, and also Barbara Mitchell. She doesn't miss the mailbox, and they're encouraging us and praying for us. So some good things are happening, Courtney, in the midst of the challenges. COVID is here, new variants, and we ask persons to, take care of themselves, observe the protocols, remember that all of us have to work together, each achieve more as well. So work with the Ministry of Health and Wellness, listen to the professionals, and as best as possible, let's keep safe so that we can get rid of this disease as well. So great to be with you, man and man, from Warren Point to Negril. Great to be with you.
You know,
Yeah.
it has been a good time, and we want you to know that even if you haven't medaled, I saw a Japanese man on the outside. There's a picture of him holding up a sign that says, "Remember, athletes, you are already the best. You don't need to medal. You are already the best." So congratulations to our coaches, everyone who is there, who is helping the Jamaican team. Most excellent work in the midst of everything that's happening. Awesome. Awesome, awesome,
Awesome.
awesome.
That is so true. We are there praying for them as they continue. So today, inside the mailbox, we're going to take a look at the Jamaican Married Man. These are men who have made this huge step to say, I do. They have migrated from single life to married life. And we want to kind of process it, have a conversation. Is marriage respected anymore? Are we respecting the institution of marriage anymore? We want to have that kind of conversation. What are some of the stereotypes about Jamaican married men? Are we in a good place as married men? Courtney and I are married. How do women see a Jamaican married man when women are looking at us being married? How do they view us? Are more Jamaican men interested in marriage in modern days? We'd love to have a conversation. It'd be great to get some empirical evidence on this, for Jamaican men. Encourage our men to do some research, or persons as well. Are men in Jamaica interested in being married? We're seeing a proliferation of cohabitation, persons just living together for various reasons as well. And we want to know, is there still interest in the institution of marriage? Are Jamaican men getting married for the wrong or the right reasons? And what are the wrong reasons? What are the right reasons? Do you think most Jamaican men glamorize a kind of polygamy culture where one woman can't satisfy me? You don't know, say we have to be like Solomon or like David, etc. So we'll be having conversation on that, Courtney.
Kevin, these are all interesting questions. One thought that
Right.
came to my mind when you say, how do women see a Jamaican married man? What are some of the stereotypes? I'm wondering if someone, let's say a man married to a woman, that will lose another good man again, one more gone. We can't get any. I don't know. But here with us this afternoon to help us to answer some of these questions is our guest. He is Barrington Edwards. He is Detective Sergeant of Police serving the Jamaica Constabulary Force for over 31, my apologies, 31 years. He's a psychologist, counselor, and a practitioner in psychometric. He is here. Good afternoon. Is he here with us yet? I'm not sure. But he is who we'll be having. Oh, there you are, Sir Edward, Detective Sergeant. It's good to have you. Welcome.
Well,
Happy for you to join us this evening.
good evening, sir, and good evening to other participants and to your listeners, and thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you
you are
so
here
much.
today. Yes, thanks. You are here today to help us to to answer some of these questions. And you're the professional in this regards. We are just hosting programs, so you need to help us, Kevin.
Yes, definitely, Courtney. We're excited. Thanks again for coming on the mailbox, Sir Barrington Edwards. And in a little while, we'll be having this conversation. Courtney, what
Mhm.
about you, by the way? Listeners should be excited about this chat too. You know what I mean? Like, are we going to have a great time having this kind of conversation? I believe so, because we need to
I
put
believe
some
so.
focus on the married man. We can't take it for granted that people know what is happening to males who are making this serious commitment, and how can we have a healthy conversation? What you say, Courtney?
Yeah, well, it's going to be exciting. I don't want to preempt anything, but I want to take this time out to say to you, Kevin, happy wedding anniversary when it comes next week. I believe you'll be doing what, celebrating 31 or 32 years of marriage. So
Right,
that's
32.
fantastic. And this more we talk about marriage, nobody thinks everything always hunky dory. Sometimes teeth and tongue meet and it's not. Kiss you kissing. So you 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 know that there are times that it becomes, as I said to some persons who I counsel, marriage is meant to be bliss, but it can cause blisters. So, man and man, remember, we want to hear from you. We are live on Facebook and YouTube, Love 101 FM. That's the handle there. You can leave your comments via our WhatsApp line, 876-997-3125. Let me say that again, 876-997-3125. Or give us a call on our studio line at 876-968-8327. Women, oh God, we're talking about marriage, so I love we love. Yes. Remember, you can participate in the program by leaving us a message via WhatsApp or comment on our Facebook page. Females, remember, no calls or voice notes allowed. It's only texting via 876-997-3125, or you can text us on our Facebook page. Love on them. Mwah.
Yeah, so we take a break. We're going to be right back to know more about Jamaican married men. Yeah, married life is a serious thing. Mind how you put on the wedding ring, but once you put it on, you must stay in the ring, the ring, the ring. This is the mailbox. We take a break. We'll be right back after this.
I am a man, I am a man, I am a man, yes.
Life comes at you fast and it can hit hard. Apply for the Credit Union Prepaid MasterCard from CNWJ with chip and PIN protection. Need a card with a personal line of credit for emergencies? We have that. Need a card you can use to shop online for that must-have item? We have that. The community and workers of Jamaica Prepaid MasterCard. All the convenience of a MasterCard. Discover the benefits of belonging.
NIS pensioners, avoid the wait. Get your NIS pension straight to your bank account. It's easy. Simply visit the Ministry of Labor and Social Security's website, mlss.gov.jm, or the nearest NIS office and collect the direct deposit application form. Then complete the form and submit it along with supporting documents to the NIS office nearest you. Avoid crowds and long lines. Get your money when you want it. The National Insurance Scheme, always working for you.
Clear Sound Production Services in association with Kevin Downswell Ministries present 658 Best Thank You with Kevin Downswell, Rhoda Isabella, Rondell Positive, Chosen, Petra K, and Ali McNabb. Tickets 3,000, VIP 6,000 at spuropen.com/658fest. Saturday, August 7, 3 to 7 p.m. Police Officers Club, 34 Hope Road. COVID protocols will be observed. An attitude of gratitude. 658 Fest. Thank you. JUTC available to downtown Spanish Town and Portmore after the show.
DJ Bounce, Digicel and make we rich together.
Make we rich together with Digicel. Just call 142 or dial star 142 number sign from your postpaid phone for a chance to win your share of $42 million in cash and prizes. Enter to get $500 off your monthly postpaid bill and 10 international minutes to USA, Canada, and the UK. Each entry costs $100. From now until September 14th, make we rich together with Digicel. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Act.
The Pentecostal City Mission Church presents its 83rd Annual International Holy Convocation under the theme, The Whole Body Fit Jointly Together. Listen on Love 101 for live broadcasts. Wednesday, August 4 at 7:15 p.m. with speaker Reverend Dr. Stephen Strawn from New York. Thursday, August 5 at 7:15 p.m., the Honorable Bishop Conrad H. Pitkin, Custos of St. James. Friday, August 6, 7:15 p.m. with Bishop John Francis from the UK. Then join us on Sunday, August 11 at 11 a.m. with speaker Reverend Barrington Richards from the Pentecostal City Mission in California. It will be on Zoom and on the Pentecostal City Mission Facebook and YouTube platforms. It's the 83rd Annual Holy Convocation of the Pentecostal City Mission Church. It will be on the family station, Love 101 Radio and Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube platforms. A blessing awaits you.
I am a man, I am a man, I am a man, yes. Strong man, integrity man.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to the program, The Mailbox. We're here live on Facebook and on YouTube. So we want you to tune in to us. You're live on here, Love 101 FM. I'm Courtney Morrison, and I got my co-host Kevin Bailey here with me, and we are celebrating Olympics. We're celebrating the Married Man today. So today, inside the Mailbox, we're looking at the Jamaican Married Man, and our guest is counseling psychologist practitioner in psychometric, and he is Detective Sergeant Barrington Edwards. We welcome him. And so, Kevin, we just want to go straight into the program. That's all.
Definitely. Sergeant, we're so happy again to have you. Our listeners, Sergeant Barrington Edwards. The first question I want you to help our listeners with is, do you think marriage is respected in Jamaica again? Do you think people still have a respect for the institution of marriage? You know, what's your take on this, Sir Barrington Edwards?
Yeah, indeed. There are varying ideas, but you still have those that are very in tune to the marriage. Uh, Marriage is relevant in today's world, as we would appreciate. Uh, Many societies have evolved to become more open. Some societies are still traditional and conservative. But while ritual significance of marriage has faded, its economic, sexual, and social dimensions remain largely the same. So indeed, people still very in tune with marriage.
And I know you may not have empirical evidence, but from where you sit, do you think most of our boys to men have it in their head that they will be married one day in Jamaica? Do you think, you know, just your own sense of it? Do you think, or you think that we're getting more where we're cohabiting, you know, or we're just gonna move in and live together, and we don't see this as a goal, you know, as an objective? What's the sense you get, Sir Barrington?
Well, for the most part in today's society, cohabiting is very um, upfront, as I would say. But uh, as it moves into later stages of life, so for instance, like 30, 35 over, people started to think very seriously about relationships. Most people, having reached that stage, are thinking about, as soon as you meet whether a male or a female, or a female for the most part, that is the direction in which they are channeling their focus. So then, if you are not so prepared, then for the most part, you may not even try to take them on, because that is where their focus, for the most part, after ages like 30, 35 going up, is more focused.
It's interesting to hear you say that, Detective Sergeant. Just last week, I was on a program, and just even Monday, talking about single by design or by desire. And the other one was talking about marriage. And, you know, there was a rapper who died recently who was engaged. He had his fiance was not going to be inheriting anything out of the marriage. Can you say whether or not part of the reason, what is it? You spoke about a socio-economic thing, but what is it that you think are our men are looking forward to in looking towards getting married? As we're asking some of the question, do we think our men are getting married for the right or the wrong reasons? If you can highlight to us, what would be some of those right reasons? And what would be some of those wrong reasons? Because those might help us in finding out whether or not persons are getting married.
Well, there are three most important things in marriage. Others may see otherwise. Some have maybe five or so forth. But there are three main important things in marriage. Right? One is commitment, one is love, and one is respect. Right? Commitment is more than just wanting to stay together for a long time. It is the act of choosing your partner for life and promising to go through all of the ups and downs together. And while there may be plenty of fish in the sea, other women and all of that, being married means you are wholeheartedly invested in making the relationship last, casting away any doubts that this is just a temporary experiment. No, that would takes care of the commitment. Now, for the love, while most couples started out their relationship being in love, sustaining that feeling for each other takes effort, sacrifice, and generosity. True love means putting your partner first and giving of yourself without expecting anything in return. It also helps you to accept each other for who you are, flaws and all, and to forgive each other when you fall short. So let me just impound on this aspect of love. In today's society, you would have seen things that would have occurred, and you wonder why. Because the males, I would want to say, though not empirically, would have invested in this aspect of the relationship and to say to themselves that this person is old, fully married. Not so. You and that person is together for the period in which it may last, but you must realize that it can stop at any moment. Now, you would have seen domestic issues, and for the fact that the men would have invested, so too they would have said, in this relationship, they would have probably sent the female to school or having done other things to their gratitude. They would have been saying to themselves that, yes, this person is mine. To my mind, that is not so. If you chose to go that direction in assisting that person, being together, that you are both in the relationship, you must remember that you would have taken that step and taken unto yourself that that is what you want to do. If you are not sure, don't even think about it. Because that is the reason why you secure men for an old part, killing females and whatever. Because they would have said that they have invested. So if you are not prepared and ready for that, don't even think about it. Because you would have said to yourself that you want to do this. So if you're not sure, don't go that route. Because that is for the most part, though not empirically tested, would have been the purpose or the reason behind males killing the females for the most part. Because they said this person is mine because I would have invested in them. Right? So you have to take that into consideration, deep consideration. Now respect is the third aspect of that. And respect now in expressing love, no matter how heartfelt, doesn't mean much if marriage partners don't respect each other. That is a must. You have to compromise, learn from the outset to compromise. What it is that you are doing in your normal life, coming together, you have to give up things. You have to compromise to make it work. You are coming from two different spheres, two different walks of life. So you have to learn to compromise. And that is the reason why they would have had marriage counseling for you to put on the table everything or most things. So then you can um, leave behind what it is that is not necessary or important in that relationship for the relationship to really progress, right?
So,
Um,
so So, Sergeant, you brought up some important points there, Sergeant Edwards. You're bringing up commitment, you're bringing up love, and now you're onto respect.
right,
I know you hadn't completed it, but I just throwing in something here. Jamaican men, whether in church or outside of church, sometime in their head, they are getting married for sex.
right,
They are looking forward to having lots of sex at any time that they want, etc., and to feel very good about it, morally and spiritually. Also, they may be looking at someone to take care of domestic issues, to be the domestic manager of the home and the children, while they are able to be free or to do some stuff. In your answering, how do you see that, while they're thinking about the love and the respect and the commitment? Do you think our Jamaican men are thinking of some of these things as well?
it's a very solid point there. If you would realize, for the most part, if you, so for instance, there's a female now, and that female for the most part is in church. Uh, the men would want to gravitate towards the church and then in short order maybe baptize and all of that. And that is for the sake of having that female. But you must ensure that if that is your game, then you're going to have serious consequences. You have to be sure of what it is that you want. Because getting into such relationship have consequences. Right? And if it's, that is your prerogative, then there are going to be serious consequences. So you have to ensure.
Sergeant, Detective Sergeant, Kevin asked a question that I think runs so deep. Men want to have sex all the time. They seem to, I don't know if that's in their head.
Yes,
Domestic care and
yes, yes.
and and the works, come home, there's dinner there. Are these the right reasons, or are these good reasons for wanting to get married? You have listed commitment, you have listed respect, and you have listed love. What about those reasons? Are they good? If you're saying they're good, let us know why. If they're bad, let us know why. Are they just neutral?
They are,
Let us know.
they are bad, not even neutral. Because if you are going to the church and say, yeah, you want this female and for sexual reasons, because most of the churches you have to be baptized and all of that in order to for them to accommodate you in having these relationships. So for the most part, the men will try to marry these females, you know. So as soon as things go right, then you find things popping up on it because that was not for the right reason, right? It was not from the outset, it was not the right reason. They are just there for the sexual acts, and they know that the church and if you have baptized and all of that, then they will accommodate you. So, in short order, the relationship may go in a different direction because you would not have been properly prepared for that. Going into a relationship, you must ensure that you have the full package, meaning that all three that I would have spoken of, in and then you are willing to share among each other. Because for the most part, some female, as you would have said, are there for the uh, the financial aspect of it, right? And as soon as the men invested in that aspect of it, and they even see somebody talking to that female, then there goes the problem. You cannot even talk to some. So it is good for the female to be independent because they're going to say, yes, she's mine or whatever, because I'm the financial controller. Not so. Not so. So you have to be very careful of what it is that you are going into a relationship about.
But sir, how do we deal with that? Especially when we have some churches impressing upon the women and the men. It's better to marry than to burn. So him wants sex, him having this sexual desire, and we seem to rush them into marriage and all of that. What really should obtain? Is this the right thing? How do we go about it? Because we want our men who are listening, to understand some things. You are a counseling psychologist. Tell us what should happen. Is this the way that we pastors and leaders of the church are supposed to be helping our men? Or is it something that's really not helpful? Tell me.
It is not helpful because that, for the most part, is the wrong reason. Because you must be mentally, physically, and otherwise prepared for a relationship. And as I would have said, you must have the package for that relationship. Whether the male or the female should have the looks, the education, just about the financial background, just about everything that can progress that relationship, right? You must be independent of each other so you can take care. What, what is it if
Brother
you,
Edwards,
yes.
we're gonna come back and take your further answers. Just gonna take a break for a time signal. So we're just gonna go right to the studio, and then we'll be right back to continue this interesting conversation, listeners, with Sergeant Barrington Edwards. So we just take a break to the studio, Then we'll be right back. This is the Mailbox on Love 101 FM.
Pretty man, I am a man. Hey man, I am a man. I am a man. I am a man. Yes.
Livewell Pharmacy has many services for diabetics. Stop by for your free blood sugar machine while stocks last. The time by Livewell Pharmacy is
6 p.m. right here on Family Radio Love 101.
Clear Sound Production Services in association with Kevin Downswell Ministries present 658 Fest. Thank you. With Kevin Downswell, Rhoda Isabella, Rondell Positive, Chosen, Petra K, and Ali McNabb. Tickets 3,000, VIP 6,000 at SpurOpen.com/658 Fest. Saturday, August 7, 3 to 7 p.m. Police Officers Club, 34 Hope Road. COVID protocols will be observed. An attitude of gratitude. 658 Fest. Thank you. JUTC available to downtown Spanish Town and Portmore after the show.
Hey my peeps, get this on the regular. Your HIV status if you consider. The least of a test once a year. Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Cause it might not show up on your timeline and you learn too late so you're out of time. A progressive future, mandatory. Really long life, our story. You hear?
Remember, update your status in a real life. Go HIV test today.
Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Really long life, our story. Real long life for youth coming from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
The Pentecostal City Mission Church presents its 83rd Annual International Holy Convocation under the theme, The Whole Body Fit Jointly Together. Listen on Love 101 for live broadcasts. Wednesday, August 4 at 7:15 p.m. with speaker Reverend Dr. Stephen Strawn from New York. Thursday, August 5 at 7:15 p.m., the Honorable Bishop Conrad H. Pitkin, Custos of St. James. Friday, August 6, 7:15 p.m. with Bishop John Francis from the UK. Then join us on Sunday, August 11 at 11 a.m. with speaker Reverend Barrington Richards from the Pentecostal City Mission in California. It will be on Zoom and on the Pentecostal City Mission Facebook and YouTube platforms. It's the 83rd Annual Holy Convocation of the Pentecostal City Mission Church. It will be on the family station, Love 101 Radio and Love 101 FM Facebook and YouTube platforms. A blessing awaits you.
I am a man. I am a man. I am a man. Yes. Strong man.
Welcome back. Welcome back. You're listening to the program, The Mailbox, live here on Love 101 FM. We're also live on Facebook and YouTube. And we are here today to remind you, you can leave your comments on our WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125 or give us a call on our studio line at 876-968-8327. Remember, women, we want you to participate. Send in your text, no voice notes. You can text us whether on our Facebook page or you can text us via that number, 997-3125, air code 876. Some people say air code on 876 anymore. It's 123. But we are 876 currently. And so please help us with this program. We're talking to Detective Sergeant Barry Edwards. He's a counseling psychologist and he does do psychometrics. So he's here with us. Let's continue to have this discussion. Kev?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Courtney. Again, listeners from Warren Point to Negril, we're having a stimulating conversation here. Of course, we're here to challenge, encourage, and empower our men. You know, Sir Edwards, how do women view married men, Jamaican married men, from where you sit, you know? How do women view us as married men when they think of a Jamaican married man? If they are single, how they view married man? Is that they want to be with a married man? They respect married man and say, I want to be married. What you think? And how they view married men? Yeah.
Kevin, you probably want to add into that scenario. Do they believe married men can do it better? And so they want men with experience. Tell us, we want to hear how they view that.
There are varying views, but for the most part, from where I sit, is they are usually saying that the married men are more responsible, and they are more responsible, and they will be able to take care of their welfare, so to speak. Um, Additionally, they would have been saying to themselves that they would not have much things to do because that person would be at home, so they would only be benefiting and not for the most part doing anything. So yes, so that is for the most part what they are thinking of. That is the where their headspace are.
So
Kevin, I wonder if our women who are listening would want to text us because we want to hear some views from our women. Remember, this is a program we want you to participate in. Remember the WhatsApp number 87699733125. How do you view married men, Jamaican married men? We want some answers from you. Okay, go ahead.
No, it's true. It's true. And you know, I think we want to look in a little while on our favorite folder because that's a
Yeah.
conversation that we need to look at. Probably we should just go right into it now, Courtney, because we know how the time goes. It says, do you think most Jamaican married men cheat? Do you think most Jamaican married men cheat? And our listeners, please feel free to give us your comments, your perspective on this one, men and women. We have our brother here who can give us the perspective. I'm so glad I'm not the one answering this one.
We
Detective
are the host.
Sergeant Barrington, yes, Detective Sergeant Barrington Edwards, 31 years in the force, a counselor and practitioner. Do you think most Jamaican married men cheat, sir?
Well, from where I sit, I would not say most, and that is one of the reasons. And well, I cannot say most and speak to that unless you have empirical evidence. But what I can say is that what I had spoken about initially is that the female must have the package. The package such being that is education, financial, looks, um, um, just about everything that comes with that. So that for the most part, they would not be looking outside, like looking outside, because everything for the most part would be in that space. Now, when you find that the men you go outside is when everything is not in that package. The package wasn't right from the outset. So probably
Edwards, you see,
You have me asking that
the
question,
lady,
Kevin. I'm sure a number of questions are coming
yes,
to mind, you know.
of
probably
course, I have to interject there because our ladies are saying, one, you are now blaming the woman for being
no.
responsible for the men cheating. You are saying that it's the responsibility of the woman to have all the things set right, you know, how they look, how
No,
they're
that,
educated, how they treat the
no,
man,
that is
and therefore it is their fault. That's what all women are saying. No, so you have to defend yourself.
no. I'm going to defend
Um,
You see as well, detective, you
Turkey.
use an absolute term, you know.
Yes,
You
I'm
said
going to
they
defend that.
must have the package. The
Right.
company say must.
And why I'm saying that
yes.
is that the men usually gravitate into how the females look, and that is recipe for disaster. You see, they are looking at the outer aspect of it. The female look good and all of that. And having seen that, in short order, suppose the female get comfortable and start going out of size and all that. The looks change. So they go and gravitate to somebody else. So it's not on the female, it's on the male to going into a relationship to ensure that they acquire the full package, or for the most part, even 90% of what comes with that package. But for the males, for the most part, today they're looking at the outer. So they're just looking at how the female look. And that is recipe for disaster.
Wouldn't you say, Detective Sergeant, that in the marital vows we say for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, sickness and in health. So I suppose that may include for prettier or uglier. I feel that include some of those things. So even if the package comes less than complete, that the commitment and the love which you spoke about should be the driving factor for either spouse. And since we are talking about the men, that needs to be the driving force. What do you say? What if the wife lose a limb, or she became acid or disfigured, or she lost her job, or she's not able to function? Is that reason for a man to cheat? A married man?
And that is where the love comes in, the fundamental basis of that relationship. Even though I've spoken on those three perspectives or dimension, the fundamental basis of the relationship should be rest and love. Love, love. If you have that in the relationship, no matter what comes, then you would not fall apart because you would be thinking about love, love, love. That is the fundamental basis of the three. Love.
Brother Edwards, very important point about love. I think our listeners sometimes want to know how do they know that this is love? You know, like they're dating, they're courting, they feel the anointing of the Lord, they get a word, you know, they so many things are happening, you know, their bishop tell them that this is the one, etc. How do they, because they have to own responsibility. After all, it's not the bishop or pastor going to live with a
Right.
woman, right? It's
Yes.
themselves. How would you, if you walk them through, what does love look like? You know, when you're courting, when you're dating, what are some of the characteristics? What are some of the things you would say? These are things you have to pay attention to because this is what real love looks like instead of infatuation. Help our listeners to get an understanding of that so that they enjoy their marriage, you know?
Well, first and foremost, your eyes have to be open as a female. You have to you have to look carefully at what it is that the man is doing. Is he is he a person that will take care of a serious relationship? Is he a person that whatever may comes, he will be there to deal with that aspect of it? Is he a person that help to take care of the house chores? Because some men just feel like the female should be at home just doing things and doing things and doing things. No, you should be a part of that. And having seen that, the female will say, "Oh, well, yes, this is a person that get involved in family life." You come home, parents and children are in the picture, and you take the child and whatever you know should be done, and you come home and you ask, "Is you are okay?" Only and all of those things. They feel more accommodated as we say, yes, this is the way a relationship. But if you just come home and nothing and just like that, yeah, every day is just the same thing. Yeah, that is not good. That is recipe for disaster. So you find a female now would gravitate to somebody else who they found love as what they are looking for, love. So you're finding a breakaway from that relationship. So yeah,
You know, Kevin.
Yes.
Sorry, detective. I thought you were complete. Sorry, go ahead.
for that man,
Yeah.
you have to be careful of what it is that you display when you're talking about love, because that is
You
a
know, Kevin.
basis on which that relationship lies.
One of the things we talk about is the 80-20 principle, that a man has 80% in the woman that he has there at least, but he continues to look for 20% over there and like the dog with a
Yes.
bone, let go of the 80 to grab for the 20. So, so is it that most of our Jamaican married men cheat? If we are looking at that principle, what would prevent a man from cheating? A married man.
Uh, as I would say, the package is most important. But you see, somebody, as you rightly say, the 80-20. Some relationship you have the 80, and the man for the most part, he's not, his eyes are not open, so he's not seeing. So the 80 is there, he's getting everything done and all of that. And the 20 for the most part is our female would look. So every female pass there is a different look. So he gravitates towards that. And that is just merely the 20 or maybe even 10. But he gravitates towards that. Having stepped out of that relationship now and found himself in deep waters. then he would have come to realization that 80 was there. Because remember now that female will not be doing nothing of substance to him. All probably sex for the most part. So there's nothing to adduce from that. So he would have messed up big time because 80 would have been there, 80, but he would have not have seen that. And that is the reason why you have to be sure of what it is that doing, you are doing when it comes down to marriage. You can't just run into marriage just like that. You have to be sure. You have to be
Thank
sure.
you. Thank you so much, Brother Edwards. How do we prepare our men, those who are contemplating to be married? And within the context of our culture gone awry, old dog like me, who trail a load of woman, me I know one me and a one woman man, me have to have whole heap of burner or run. And these
Yeah.
are the things that our boys and men they get every day through our music, our movies, and conversations. It seems that we're asking our men to do something unfair, man. Like we want them to go against some hard things, talk to us. How can we change this mindset and trajectory to get our men to say yes, it is important, it is even something to look forward to be able to commit yourself to one woman and go against the cultural influences because it's beneficial. Talk to us, Sir Edwards.
All right, let me start off by saying there are three dimensions to this relationship. All right, you'd have one that is referred to as the polygamy, one is referred to as the polygamy, and one is the monogamy. Now, let me expound on those. Now, when a man is married to more than one wife at the same time, sociologists would call that polygamy, right? For the woman and the woman part of it more than one man, that will be referred to as the polygamy. Now, um, when there's the party man and woman in relationship, that is referred to as a monogamy. No, you have to be in tandem with it. No, in order to experience a polygamy, you have to commit the act of bigamy, right? All right. What I'm saying, I've said that for the layman to have a better appreciation of what it is that we are discussing, right? All right. The males, as I would have said, would have to be, even the younger persons coming up today, they would have to learn to appreciate what the older folks would have done because back in the days, remember, you'd have to go to a family member with a mother father to ask if you can take their daughter and in marriage and all of that. Nowadays, that is not done. And you find that people just rush into relationship like that. And that is not good. You remember now you're gonna see females upon females upon females, and every female is unique, and their looks are different. So for you now to seriously engage in a relationship, you have to have a mindset as to what it is that you really want. Because if you don't have that mindset and you go off and tandem into that relationship, that is where the problem starts. So you have to
But how do
ensure
you get that? How do you get that mindset and you don't have it? Like, how do you get it? Because men are listening and they don't have it. How do
you,
you get that mindset, Brother Edwards?
you have to have a level of let me say uh I can't even find that word. But you have to be a upstanding person, a person that really knows what life is all about, a person who coming up try to emulate those because you have good married men. So you look on for a role model. You see how that
Mm.
person, even a neighbor, whatever, how that person is living, and you try to emulate the person and make that person a role model. Make you know you sort of that person would have set the stage for you so you can truly follow. It's just like parenting. everybody have a child, so they just do what it is. Parenting and not like something like you go school and whatever. So you do what it is you want. But there are some people that you would emulate and say, yes, I think that would be a right way to go. So you project along that line. So it is one of the same with the relationship. You would emulate from person say, there are those people next door are living and I really want my relationship to go like that. Even then sometimes some things happen that we are not quite aware about. But on the outside of it, it would have enabled you to think as if, yes, this is the way I want to go. So you have to be serious about a relationship, not just run into a relationship because you're going to have serious consequences. You're going to see a,
Detective,
you're going to have
go
a lot,
ahead.
you're going to see a lot of females that you like, and as I would have said, each person is different, each person look different, shape different. So you have to ensure the package, not just the outer appearance, not just the outer appearance. So when you go in that space, for the most part, you would have even the 80 already set.
Detective Sergeant, don't want to belabor the point, but I think I want to push that a little further. So you speak to some Christian men, some persons in the church, and they will tell you Solomon was the wisest of all men, and yet he had 700 wives. Why should I decide to become monogamous? Why should I not decide to be polygamous? It seemed to have benefited him. What would be your response to those men in terms of that sort of context when they approach you?
You see, you have to take into consideration that it starts at a point, but what it is at the end of the road. Because it may be up and down with um, Jane, June, and all. But at the end of the day, you have not come to a serious resting place. So, what if it that you fall aside and you need somebody to take care of you? There will be no one. You'll be left standing alone. So you'll be out here flirting round and round and not having a serious contact, a serious relationship. And at the end of the day, for the most part, you will see some people sitting on the sidewalk or going around begging and all of that. Some man, and you wonder where is his wife or whatever. Some of those persons, even though it's not empirically tested, could be a part and parcel of that. They used to be up and down and about. So they did that have a serious relationship. So at the end of the day, they don't have somebody to take care of them. So you have to look in that pathway, channel your life in a particular way. You can't just so everybody have a trailer with a girl, but yeah, having them, yes, initially. But at the end of the day, which one of them going to take care of it? You have to look seriously at that.
Serious contemplation there as we grow older, as we age too, and some men find themselves really missing out because they didn't understand how important it is to keep people. Sometimes we keep things and throw away people. We have 2 voice notes. I think we're gonna take them at this time. Just to get the perspective. So I think if we can listen to these voice notes, we can have a further conversation and your perspective. All right, here it says, man, I totally disagree with this gentleman. Most of the married men who cheat are insecure, full of pride, and greedy. They also believe that once they are married, they own the woman, so they can do anything, and the wife should accept it. My husband then told me that I am at home. He spent all his money outside and came home once weekly and even stole my purchases for the home and shout. And when I tried to locate the goods, he was connected to a church. Sadly, many church leaders accept these behaviors as well. That's a conversation there. Yeah. So, hearing a perspective there that men sometimes are insecure, full of pride, and greedy. So even when the package is okay at home, them look over next door because the grass look greener on the other side. And then what is sad is when they're connected to the church, and the person believes that
Leaders accept it as well.
church leaders accept these behaviors. Any thought on that, Sir Edwards?
Yeah, yes, and I can agree to some aspect on that because that is where part and parcel, the 80-20% would come in. They're still looking outside even though they have the package. That is what I was saying, right? And indeed, they would be greedy. So they are still looking out because for the yes, as the person would have rightly said, they are at home. So the man feel like yes, they are there. So him have that pot. So you know, so they you can go outside now the 20 and flirt and whatever, because him have that pot at home. And that is that is where the problem lies, right? And that is the reason why as female should be independent, right? Independent, not to rely also on those type of people.
Is it true that the person said many church leaders accept these behaviors? What's your take on that?
Well,
Many church leaders accept the fact when these men are behaving like this and support the bad behavior. What's your take on that?
yes, it depends on the denomination. It depends on the denomination because if you can see in recent time, for most of the part, some of those persons are caught up in even rape and those things. So for those denominations, rightly said, they would be some of the people who would have accept those type of behaviors because if they are going out of the way to rape and have um, relationship with church members and all that, then those persons are some of the persons who would appreciate those type of behaviors and you know so it depends on the denomination.
Man and man. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Courtney.
Yes. I don't know. Yeah, you were about to read one of the things. Let's just read them and then go into my question. Go ahead.
Yeah. It says man and man, good. Even what makes the relationship work is love, communication, understanding each other, respect, and trust. One love. Shalom. Want to thank those who responded and took the time to share with us these
Some men
comments.
just love to cheat. No matter what you do, and no matter what you say to them just love to cheat because them just can't keep their hands off and satisfied with what you are giving them. So some of them love them wife very much, but them just have to cheat. I don't know what kind of demons, but some of them just have to cheat. So I don't know.
Pleasant evening to the panel. I love this topic. I would say, to me, 90% of Jamaican married men, they are cheaters. They will have the wife in the bedroom there, and they are in another room with somebody else, dry eye, bare face, don't care. They are cheaters.
You heard.
Kevin, we want to thank those ladies for commenting. We really need to do some empirical research on these and find out where it's at. But how many men would probably declare that they are actually being infidels, being cheaters? As
Courtney.
time almost finished.
Oh, whoa, yeah. Now I was saying I
Yeah.
saw research, but that's for US, where about 25 to 30% of men have cheated in their marriage, and roughly 10 to 15% of women would love to get some data. But go ahead. Yes, we're down on the wire.
You saw research that says only 25 to 30%. That's interesting.
That's
I
for
wonder if
US.
that's for
For US.
US. US
Yes.
men, not Jamaican men.
No,
All
no.
right. We're almost out of time, and so we want to ask Detective Barton Sergeant, Detective Sergeant Barton Edwards, give us a wrap on, encouraging our men as to, remaining disciplined, remaining focused on their marriage, remaining focused on how to mend and reconcile and forgive, to ensure that it is until death do us part and not until I kill you. How is it that we can ensure that marriages last and that there is respect for marriages?
Okay, let me just say this part of it. Parental physical abuse interferes with maturation of ego, functions, hinders the maturation of defense mechanisms and impulse regulations and impairs the development of healthy interpersonal relationship. So from the outset, depending on your how you were grown, what you would have been taught, right? You were not properly groomed from the outset. You grow up and you see a certain type of levity, and that was what would have been endowed on you. So you carry through life on that basis. Now, for the most part, when you come up on a good man, find a good man, you get a good relationship, those persons for the most part would have been properly groomed. They are from good backgrounds, and those persons are very hard to find. So you have to search deep to find those persons. So having found those persons, you know that you would have to go all out. You would have a relationship that would last. So I would implore upon the females going into a relationship, not just look on the outer person. The package comes along with that person. Look and to see, take some time out to see what it is that you're going into. What type of person is this? Spend some time to know if this person would in fact be a good father, if this person would take care of things. You have to spend the time to ensure that you observed and see what it is that you are going. Because I would have said that if you were not brought up properly, not for the most part, um, would impact any relationship. So yeah, you have to be very careful.
All righty,
Thank you.
we have to end it there. Thank you very much, Detective Sergeant Barrington Edwards. Kevin, that sounds like he's encouraging us to have more men seminars or male seminars on how to remain married, how to be properly groomed for marriages, and the church and society at large need to play a larger role in this. Eh?
Definitely, we may have to start marriage schools, marriage school for men, marriage school for women. This final one said, men nowadays do not take marriage seriously, even the church. They want to be with me, who is single, even though they are married. So, as we continue the conversation, we want to challenge, encourage, empower our men that we change for the better. How can we become better husbands? How can we become better men? Because we can grow and become more Christ-like. So, thanks to our producer, Tony K. Bramfield, Denise Williams for technical support, and our guest, Barrington Edwards. Thank you so very much for being with us. Listen again next week for another program of the Jamaican Married Man Inside the Mailbox, the program designed by men with guests who are men, hosted by men. I am yours truly, Kevin Bailey.
And I am Courtney Morrison. Next week, Monday.
I am a man, I am a man, I am a man, yes. Strong man.